Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. And it's been almost 4 months since the passing of Carrie Fisher. And that is still hard to think about just as a diehard Star Wars fan. I picked up my copy of Rogue One the other day, and I'm just still looking at it like, oh, it's like, I know she's not in it, but to me, it's kind of like, it's bittersweet because I love the movie, and I'm still very upset that Carrie Fisher passed away. But like everyone else, I've been wondering, what are they going to do? What are they going to do with the with their character? What's going to happen with Princess Leia going forward? Now we know that the Last Jedi, Episode 8, was shot, and she had a large part in that. And we know that there's a scene where she's reunited with Luke, and we know all those things. And we just don't know how they're going to play it out. Well, Colin Trevorrow just turned in the draft for Episode 9, I believe, like 10 days ago. And so while the news didn't really get kind of circulated around to the point of massive discussions, it definitely let us know that they have at least a plan going forward. And that plan going forward is one that they've been working on, since Carrie passed away. Kathleen Kennedy and Colin Trevorrow did meet up to kind of spitball how to handle it in a very these are my emphasis here, but I would say probably a very loving and careful way, very similar to how Universal handled the ending of Fast and Furious 7 after Paul Walker's death, and it was done in a very tasteful and sentimental fashion that I quite enjoyed. Now, Todd Fisher, who's Carrie Fisher's brother, spoke with the New York Daily News, and he revealed that he and Carrie Fisher's daughter, Billie Lourd, who was one of like the technician, or she was one of the people in like the base scene in Force Awakens, they granted Disney and Lucasfilm permission to use existing footage that was shot for The Last Jedi as well as Force Awakens in order to allow General Leia to appear in Episode 9. And this is what Todd Fisher says. He says, both of us were like, yeah, how do you take her out of it? And the answer is, you don't. She's as much a part of it as anything, and I think her presence now is even more powerful than it was, like Obi-Wan. When a saber cuts him down, he becomes more powerful. I feel like that's what happened with Carrie. I think the legacy should continue. To me, Star Wars is the holy grail of storytelling and lore, and you can't mess with it. And this is a guy who's lived Star Wars probably closer than any of us have, outside of being in the movie. He's like, just very much off to the side of it, very left of center, so to speak. And he's been part of that for 40 years almost. And I get it, I mean, when I heard that Carrie Fisher died, I was heartbroken. I was very upset. I cried a little bit. I was like, that's, it's like a family member dying to me. And so I've been really wondering how they're going to handle it. And I was really hoping they're going to do it in a way that feels tasteful. But at the same time, there's still a story to tell. And that, again, that plays into it here. It's like with Fast and Furious 7 with Paul Walker, those are kind of like they're standalone-ish movies that you could segment off, which is probably one of the reasons why the last 3 movies in Fast and Furious are now a trilogy versus, kind of standalone films. They're ending it with a bang, so to speak. But this new trilogy is an overarching story, and General Leia is a big part of that. It's a big part of that. And I'm wondering, they're not going to do CG like they did with Peter Cushing in Rogue One, and I get that. Part of me wonders, though, if they should. So just to kind of finish telling the story, we do know that nothing's been edited or altered out of The Last Jedi in order to make up or explain away Carrie Fisher's passing. As I think I predicted a few months ago when I heard about this, they are probably going to have her death be off screen. Or, like I said, they could treat it like Fast and Furious, where they don't kill off the character, they retire the character. And that, again, either way they handle it's going to have to be very, 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 very carefully crafted. And the fact that Billie Lourd and Todd Fisher have allowed this footage to be used, they have to know that everything is going to be in the proper hands. They have to know that it's going to be handled with the utmost care and respect. Because believe me, if it's not, they will definitely be letting everybody know how mad they are. And I think that will impact the box office return of Star Wars. People being pissed at Star Wars is not something Disney wants. And so they are very much going to treat it with respect. So it's good. So some footage will be repurposed for Episode 9, which makes sense. There was believe it or not, too. I know I keep going back to Fast and Furious on this one, but I feel they're relevant. there was footage from Fast and Furious 5 that was repurposed for Fast and Furious 7 of Paul Walker. So expect that sort of thing. And the thing is, you probably couldn't even tell where it was repurposed from Fast and Furious 5 to Fast and Furious 7, and everything else. And just to give you a quick little bit of info on that one, the cabana scene in Abu Dhabi, when they're all sitting there talking about the Cypher, the hacker, Paul Walker laughs at a joke that Tyrese and Ludacris say to each other, and that reaction to him laughing, go back and watch Fast and Furious 5 right after Mia gives birth, and Vin Diesel and Paul Walker are talking while drinking a beer sitting outside, and that's when he laughs, and it's the exact same thing repurposed. So that's, again, it's probably going to be so subtle no one's going to expect it, and that makes sense. So again, I have high hopes for this. I have high thoughts for this. I have a feeling that they're going to do this with the right amount of care and respect and love, and that's something I'm going to definitely give them the benefit of the doubt on going into it. I personally can't wait to see The Last Jedi in Episode 9, and I know I'm going to be having tissues with me. Oh, I know it. I know it's going to happen. I cried after The Force Awakens. I have no problem admitting that. I walked out of the theater. It dawned on me that Han Solo was dead, and I just lost it. So there's that. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. You've been listening to 3 Buck Theater. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, share it around, get your friends in on the conversation. Let's talk Star Wars. It's great stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.